bark there?
Because I'm about that. Because I'm about that. I'm about that come up, running up on them fools that are talking foolish. Try to get them funds up, killing them mic just like I ran the jewels in. Y'all gonna get done up front, knowing that kid with an attitude, but you can't really blame his mother. What he had to do, third. I'm about that cash flipping, I'm getting it on and off the market. Not about that VIP, not me, not never been a fan of carpets. All about that RIP for all of my Jesus gone departed. All about that finish what I started, I'm about that.
Top down like you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Down like you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
Know that I'm about it. Want a man I can bring the drama, but it ain't by chance. I'm fucking rapping, you don't really want a problem. Made a little cash in the back end, but still rapping like I'm starving. Yeah, y'all gotta ask who the man is. Hope I'm gonna be like, beg your pardon. I'm about that.
Top down like you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Down like you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
And welcome into the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you. Somebody's got some bad reverb on this thing. So we're going to start off with our national what day it is. And today, boys, it's a little interesting. It is National Matchmaker Day. So in the course of good fun, I want to say, because it is the trade deadline and because we love baseball, the majority of us, let's go ahead and say our favorite sports trade of all time. So think about that real quick. Your favorite sports trade of all time. Let's go first to the baseball guru himself. He is Billy McCartney. Billy, what do you got?
It's not a baseball trade, actually. I think the most interesting trade that I can ever remember was the Herschel Walker trade. A matchmake there from with the Dallas Cowboys, and they kind of revamped their whole roster to kind of create that 90s Doom team like they call America's team. So that'd be the one I would pick.
Very cool. Paul, your thoughts?
I guess mine would be a football one as well. I guess, and I don't know if it was really a trade. It was kind of like when Tampa Bay screwed over Bo Jackson, and Bo Jackson didn't go to them and went back into the draft, and Oakland picked them up, and they had to give Tampa.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Man down! Paul!
Yeah.
Paul, are you okay?
There we go. Oh. All right, I'm back. Way too many of these so far already.
He's got cut-off sleeves on.
He's paid homage to Luke Schuster.
Yeah. No, so it'd have been that, because I know that Oakland had to give Tampa something for them to release him off of that. So
it's Quinn's favorite holiday, according to Robert Switka. So, Quinn, with that being said, what's your favorite trade of all time?
I don't know, to be honest with you, I guess. I mean, I could tell you trades I hate. I know a lot of those.
You have a lot of hatred in you. Go ahead. Just go ahead and start with that.
I mean, that's every trade the Browns do in the draft. They trade every freaking pick every year. So you don't get good trades in Cleveland. That's just plain and simple. So,
wow. Ty, you have any favorite trades?
All time is a little bit hard. I could definitely think of one of recent memory, and that's with the Indians in 2016 trading for Andrew Miller. The dude really put us over the top, and I think propelled us to get to the World Series. Unfortunately, we couldn't come away with the win in the World Series, but he definitely was a huge part of us getting there.
Richie, was that you dropping damn? Yep,
that was mine. That was mine. Andrew Miller in 2016. We gave up two of our top prospects, and Clint Frazier, who's one of their outfielders now, and Sheffield, who's a pitcher, which hasn't panned out just yet. But Andrew Miller was just unbelievable in 2016, unstoppable, and such a big part of our bullpen and getting us to the World Series. So, Quinn, we do have some good trades in Cleveland just on the baseball diamond.
Name one that's good and that actually helps us win.
You got the Marquise Grissom, David Justice trade in 97.
I was 3.
put us in the World Series. You just said name one. I gave you one.
It didn't win, did they? Did they win the World Series? No.
Only one team
Well,
wins.
that doesn't mean anything. They
Every
lost.
year. Only one team
How
wins.
about Kevin Love? Like the Kevin Love trade.
That wasn't even a trade.
What was it?
It wasn't a
What
trade.
was it? Was it
He
an
just-
exchange?
he just
Like what
walked
would
into
you
the
like to call
Basically an
this?
exchange to get
Captain
LeBron.
Basketball? If that wasn't
An
a trade,
exchange
what
to
was
get
it?
LeBron, and Kevin Love didn't
That's
help.
called a trade, dipshit.
Having LeBron was what won that. And as you like to point out, it
there we
was
go.
Kyrie Irving's shot that did it anyway.
LeBron's the
Irrelevant.
center of everything. Nobody can win without LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron
of
can
course.
win by himself.
All right, let's go down to T in the car. T, what do you got?
I really don't give a shit either way about this dude, but a trade that I think revived his career, Amari Cooper going to the Cowboys. I think that was a good trade, and I think it revived his career. So that's mine.
Just be careful in that car. No texting and driving, and no power hour and driving should be
No,
another rule.
I'm parked right now. I'm waiting to go in Planet Fitness, check out
I'm
a couple
nervous.
baddies in there. So
Wow.
Well, I think my favorite
That's
trade of
shaming
all
the
time.
workout people. Jeez.
I'm hoping people didn't hear that because I was talking over him, but we'll see. I'm sure Betos is gonna throw in. Here we go.
no, I
There
said
he is.
baddies.
Baddies, baddies.
Oh,
Got
good,
it.
Good cover. Good cover.
Where did Aaron Miller come from?
Never heard of Aaron Miller.
Who is Aaron Miller? Anybody?
Nope.
No idea who it is.
He meant Andrew, but we'll go to the next thing because he screwed up.
My favorite trade of all time is when the Steelers got Jerome Bettis from the Rams. I think it changed the face of the Bill Cowher era in Pittsburgh. I also think that Marlon Byrd and I'm trying to think of the other guy. It was from Minnesota. Man, I can't remember his name because he wasn't that good for us. But Marlon Byrd put us over the top, and then I think Russell Martin was another great trade for the Pirates, or a great acquisition for the Pirates. And that was a match made in heaven because we had probably the most wild card game of all time. So happy Matchmaker Day to all of you guys. Appreciate you wherever you are. But we got some things to talk about, and because we're loyal, local, and live here on YSN, we have got, and this is it, it has to be. You have to start with the unbelievable weekend that was football because it's 2020 and anything goes here. And guys, anything went. We started on Thursday, a great football Thursday, and then Friday was an absolute chaotic night here at HQ. It was on the road. We lost computers. We lost boards because of the lightning, weather, and Mother Nature playing chaos on YSN. But we prevailed. We won that war. And then Saturday, everything was smooth as silk. So let's go over some of the scores from those games at hand, brought to you by our friends at ScoreStream. Southern Local falling to Latonia 14-13. You had the Brookville Warriors all over Liberty, 35-12. LeBray all over Camel Memorial, 42-21. West Branch, this was probably the surprise of the night for me. West Branch falling to, beating Salem 44-20. Girard all over Lakeview 35-0. And the other game that I kind of had some eyebrows lifted on was the champion Golden Flashes beating the Crestview Rebels 20-17. Hubbard with the upset, 14-7, and Jamie will tell you it's not an upset. He called it 14-7 at home. The Eagles victorious. Western Reserve 36-8 over Waterloo. Steubenville beating Cardinal Mooney 40-13. And we had what I think was probably one of the games of the night, South Range pulling the upset at home, depending on who you were talking to, over Poland, 24-21. Ursuline, 29-6 over Cheney. You had Jefferson falling to Niles, 35-3. Canfield, 23-0 over Howland. McDonald, 40-6 over Sebring. And a few more. Guys, from some of those scores that we pass on, what was the most impressive performance of the night in your particular opinion? We'll start with you, Paul Munson.
I got to go with the Raiders. I mean, on paper, they shouldn't have probably won that game. I mean, the Poland line was big. I mean, they had one kid over 320 pounds, a couple other kids that were right around 280, 290. They should have realistically pushed the defensive line all over the place for the Raiders, but the Raiders, they stepped up. And as you alluded to, is the old cliche, turnovers can win you games. And that's exactly what happened. Poland turned the ball over 3 times, 2 fumbles and an interception. And South Range didn't turn it over once. And they pulled it out, and they had a great kicker, which not a lot of people talk too much about because they weren't aware of it at first, I guess. So Harley Novak, she's a senior on the soccer team, and she's also a senior on the football team. She's the girl kicker for South Range, so kicked the game-winning field goal to beat them 24-21.
So you're taking the Raiders. I thought that was a great game. Billy Mack, were there any games that really caught your eye, especially when you were in on the studio on Saturday, doing a great job of being in the producer chair?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I think everybody had a great time at YSN Friday. Maybe not as much Friday night with all the rain and storms, but definitely Saturday. I think the stiff arm was definitely the best call of the night. The kid from Fitch, the quarterback from Fitch, had 5 touchdown pass, and he's definitely my. I'm trying to look up his exact stats, but I can't find him. He's definitely my guy of the night. He balled out. Fitch kind of impressed me a lot. They just looked bigger, stronger, faster. On both sides of the ball, they were prepared. They just looked like they were ready to play football compared to the other teams where they had some opportunities. It just looked like Fitch just manhandled them from kickoff to the final whistle. So that was my most impressive night.
Quinn, you had the call of the night by far with the stiff arm. Talk to me about your most impressive performance of the night, or I guess of the weekend.
I mean, there's a lot of good games. I mean, Ursuline impressed me looking at scores and stuff like that. Like, Ursuline impressed me. Canfield getting the shutout, that was impressive to me. Then the McDonald game was pretty impressive. The thing that really stuck out, though, to me was Clay Medbeck hitting that 50-some-yard field goal for Springfield.
Yeah, I think, and you kind of jumped the gun, so I appreciate it. But we're going to get to most impressive individual performances in a minute. But, hey, we can always go back and shine a light on Medbeck because that was an absolute bomb. Let's go to Ty. I mean, you had the front row seat to Fitch just dominating on Friday night. Saturday night now. I'm trying to keep it all together. Saturday night. It was supposed to be on Friday night. And it was a 33-3 thrashing. I mean, what stood out to you in that ballgame?
2 words: Devin Sherwood, and we talk about it on the show all the time. Players, if we don't mention your name enough, make us mention your name. And he stood out to everyone on Saturday night, and he pointed to himself and said, "Look at me! 5 touchdown passes. I mean, just a great receiving corps, just a great all-around offense that TJ Parker has formulated against Boardman, who, I mean, don't thrash Coach Ignacio because he had great defensive schemes, but Fitch just had better offense. And I mean, with the receivers of Todd Simons and Nate Leskovac, sound familiar? That's because they're on the basketball team, and they're these dual sport athletes that are just absolutely fantastic. Some matchups I'm looking forward to that Harding and then that Steubenville matchup for Fitch going forward. It's going to be a very fun time watching this.
That's a great take, Britt.
That is a dynamite drop in by Britt Taylor, throwing the politics right into the conversation. Gerard turned the ball over 4 times and had more holding calls than Joe Biden, still won 35-0. We do not condone any politics on this channel. However, that was a hot take by one of our guys. I'm with you, Ty. I saw it. Fitch, I think, I don't even remember who I picked. I thought I picked Fitch. But I saw Fitch winning this ball game. I didn't see it by that much. Hopefully Boardman can bounce back and we just see that Fitch is that damn good this year under TJ Parker. Richie, you had a couple games to call. Did either one of those stand out to you, or was there one on the road that you thought that this was fantastic performance?
Yeah, South Range stuck out to me the most. I think going at home and beating Poland, one of the best teams in the Valley, is always impressive. But Canfield pitching the shutout to Howland. Chris Samarone, lead linebacker for the Cardinals. I called his name on pretty much every play on the defensive side. So he was fantastic. Canfield, seemed like Howland had a 4th down every possession. They had a 3-year quarterback and a 2-year running back. So for them to hold a shutout against one of the most experienced offenses in that conference is very impressive.
T, you had a chance to watch a lot of football this past weekend. What stood out to you?
I'm gonna hop on the South Range bandwagon as well. For one reason, mainly, I mean, back in the day, they used to be our rivals, them and Clemiana. But the fact that they're taking teams like Poland and hopping in the tough league that they're in, and not only hanging with teams but beating teams. It's just incredible, and I think it's awesome. So awesome for South Range, definitely.
I got a couple teams that are on my radar right now. Number one is the Hubbard Eagles. They're going in. They played at home, obviously, but they played a very tough Struthers team and ended up beating them in a really, really good game. And Jamie and Anthony did a great job with the call. A couple other ones. I mean, Warren JFK scoring nearly 40 points in a monsoon. If that's the way it's going to be, Likens being able to go freaking 80 yards, I think, on two different plays to the house. We thought Warren JFK was going to be good, but I don't think we realized how good they could possibly be, especially when they're basically playing in water polo conditions out in Warren.
Who'd they play? Who'd Kennedy play?
Warrensville
Heights.
Yeah. So keep an eye on Kennedy. They're going to have another test this Saturday. We'll be out there watching that. But also, I hate to even say this, but not from Springfield's standpoint, but from Mineral Ridge, I thought that was going to be a hell of a game, and it turned out Springfield was, and forever will be this year the real deal, because they showed up and they balled out. You talk about Bo Brungard being the real deal, unbelievable, and he's got targets that are huge. That offensive line at Springfield, they are unbelievable, fast off the ball. They're sharp as attack, and they proved it. I mean, Mineral Ridge had a lot to say about things going into it. There was a lot of, hey, we got this guy, and they did. And then Springfield showed up, and they just owned the night. And again, Clayton Medvec, 52 yards in a high school game, and it probably would have been good from 60. Interesting. I mean, they are going. That is a weapon in high school football. If you can have a kicker that drills from beyond 30 yards, you got something. So congratulations to all our teams, and thank you to all our fans and sponsors for making Week 1 such a success here on YSN. And yeah, I gotta tip my hat to my favorite Dan Yeagley out in South Range, because that was incredible. That was a game. You heard about Poland all week, and I will never bet against Dan Yeagley, in the famous quote of our good friend Jeff Bezos. So, okay, so from that we go to this. What team has the most to prove in Week 2? So let's go reverse skate. Tristan, who do you got?
Is somebody typing?
I don't know what that is.
It sounds like somebody's on a keyboard typing.
Well, I'm going to go with Crestview, just because, I mean, yeah, you dropped a tough one there against Champion. They got a lot to prove coming out with what they have. They're loaded, and this game, I know it's only game 2, but it could make or break, where the season, is going to go in the direction from here on out. So I think Crestview for sure.
Okay. It's good for Tristan. Richie, who you got that has the most to prove here in Week 2?
I think Struthers does, after losing to Hubbard in Week 1, where I thought personally that Struthers was going to come into Hubbard and roll all over them, but I guess not, and they have to bounce back. I believe they play Lakeview, so that's a beatable opponent there, and we'll see. I think Struthers, needs a must-win here in Week 2.
Yeah, Struthers is going to be home against Lakeview, right, Paul? So that'll be a huge opportunity for them to even out their record at 1-1.
Same for Crestview. Crestview is going to be home to open up that brand new field they got against Campbell this week. So on Tristan's.
Richie kind of stole mine with Struthers, but I'll say Boardman. Just because just the way that Fitch handled them, this Boardman team has the potential to be a lot better. Terrence Thomas at quarterback for Boardman, he's a phenomenal talent. He has great speed out of that quarterback position, and he has the ability to make plays with his arm as well. Timing was a little off on Boardman's offensive side, but if that's something they could straighten out, they could really they could take it to some teams. They have tremendous talent on that team as well.
Q, who has the most to prove to you in Week 2?
I mean, I don't know if it's the most to prove, but the biggest thing I want to see is how Latonia does and how Ursuline do. I mean, they came off of two big wins. Obviously, I want to see if they can continue kind of rolling and see if they're actually the real deal too.
I can agree with that. Muncie, what do you feel?
Mine, I think, is going to be how Poland reacts to getting beat. I mean, they come right back, then they're going to be home against Niles, who's not a pushover. So, I mean, they're going to have another big test this time at home. And, a lot of these teams that we're talking about are all going to be home. Boardman's going to be home against East. And the Ursuline Fitch game, I mean, Fitch came off that big win, and they're going to go to Stambaugh Stadium and have to take on Ursuline. So that's going to be another slobber knocker there. But, yeah, in my opinion, Poland, because they, in all intents and purposes, did not think they were going to lose and did not expect to lose. And when they did, I think they're, very bitter about it. So, Niles might catch the bad end of the Bulldogs on that one.
Billy Mack.
I'm going Ursuline here just for the simple fact that they haven't won too many games in the last few years, and how are they going to do handling a win? And they don't really have, too much time to kind of enjoy it. They got to go against probably, in my opinion, the best overall football team in the Valley right now, and they just beat up on their rivals. So, Ursuline's got to come in and be ready to play football again. So.
Yeah, I'm going to be really interested to see how the Salem Quakers can bounce back. I mean, the biggest game of their season was Week 1 against West Branch, their arch rivals. Are they going to be able to bounce back and find that motivation and get through the next 5 weeks? Ron John always has them pumped up. The boys at 643 always show you inside the huddle, inside the locker room, and do a great job with their video production. But it's going to be interesting to see what they put together from the highlight film in Week 1, because there wasn't much there. Part of it was the ability to even play in that monsoon. Their game got pushed from Friday to Saturday, I believe, at halftime or somewhere close to that range. And then being able to psych yourself up and go back out, even though it is your rival, you know that you were kind of outmatched on Friday night and trying to sleep on it, get back, make another travel down to West Branch, and then put the Dukes up again. So I'm going to see – I'd love to see the Quakers bounce back here in Week 2, see what they're made of. But reality is, as a Palestine boy, I got to give Palestine a little pump up. I don't know if I got to jump in there and motivate them or something, but something has got to start going in East Palestine. They got off the bus, and Valley Christian just kept up what was going on last year. The last time that East Palestine took the field, there was that drubbing by Columbiana that stirred up all kinds of controversy, which we won't talk about. But then you come back and you lose, 39-0? I mean, it's going to be a tough year if these guys don't start taking things personal. You have to start taking teams that roll you out like a welcome mat. You got to start taking that personal. So if I can say anything to the boys in Bulldog Country, it's get a chip on your shoulder and let's go. Start doing something.
They have a chance this week that they get that team that pounded them at the end of the season. They play Columbiana this week.
And that's going to be the talk of the town for the next 4 days.
And right? It's at home, too, so it's at EP.
I mean, that's – again, I've said it before, and I've told Tony this, and he feels the same way. You would have to drag me off that field. I'm not ever going to forfeit anything. I'm never throwing in the towel. So for them, they've had a bad taste in their mouth for, 300 and some days. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. And if you're Columbiana, you get the chance to be like, listen, that was no fluke. We're going to shut you up again. So East Palestine has the most to gain right here. I don't think it's a down year for the Clippers, but I think they're not as strong as they were. I mean, they had like 47 seniors, and obviously I'm exaggerating, but they had a lot of seniors on that football team, and it's going to be interesting to see if there's anybody that took that personal last year. If I'm Tony, everywhere I go, there's 82 on the board of everything. They're doing 82 push-ups. They're 82 this, 82 that. Everything they do is about 82, and proving that these guys that are your arch rivals, you gotta go get them. So I think if I had to pick a team that nobody else is picking, it's going to be East Palestine that has the most to prove in Week 2. So let's go back to the team that has the most – no, we already did that one. Sorry. Let's go to this one. Most impressive individual performance. A lot of people standing out and a lot of people putting their hat in the ring for the Baird brothers. Big dogs of the Valley here in Week 1. Tristan, who was it that stood out to you?
I mean, this is a little hard to pick, I guess. But I'm going to have to go with the field that the kicker from Springfield, I don't remember his name. That's impressive, man. Just that kick alone is going to get him recruited right now. Just that kick alone, that's it. Put it in a resume, he's getting recruited. So that's mine right there.
Yeah, not to mention that Medvec also plays wideout. So if you're a D3 or a D2 college that's looking for somebody, you don't have to waste, and I say waste, you don't have to waste a roster spot on a kicker. Clayton Medvec's your guy. Let's go over to Richie Giuliano.
Yeah, my guy's Aiden Stevens, the quarterback for LeBray. I mean, Campbell scores first at 7-0. The opposing kickoff, he takes a touchdown return 70 yards to the house to get it started for LeBray. He adds 2 more touchdowns on the ground, and he was just phenomenal, just moving the ball left and right. They run that RPO-style offense. So Aiden Stevens is going to be my player of the week, and he's from LeBray.
Anthony Hartwig with a dynamite drop in here. Shout out to Edison for getting win 1 after an 0-10 season last year over Toronto, who went 8-2 and made the playoffs last year. I mean, that's huge for the Wildcats to be able to come up big there. Ty, I got to believe I know where you're going to go with your player of the week. Go ahead.
Absolutely, and I already said his name earlier, Devin Sherwood. Being in that stadium and watching him, the 5 touchdowns that he threw, and just the touchdowns, the way he got them too, when he rolled to his left off of his back foot and just slinging 40-yard touchdowns on the money in between double coverage. It was incredible. It was a very impressive performance that a high school level quarterback was able to do that. He, like I said, he's showing all of us, giving all of us a reason to say, look at me right now.
Billy, what was that all about?
He stole. This is all day. He's trying to steal my thunder and my loyalty.
I was at the game, Billy. What are you talking about?
All my stuff. He wanted to say, Fitch, this kid. I already said it at the beginning of the show. That to me, it's that kid and everybody else is trying to catch up.
What happened to Ursuline, Billy? You're not loyal to them anymore.
Look, I'm loyal to greatness. Period. That's it. All right.
Wow. We'll talk about your greatness in a trade that happened today a little bit later in the show. Quinn, who stood out to you? Obviously you said Clayton Medbeck already. Is there anybody else that stood out to you from week 1 that really people should start paying attention to?
Yeah, I got to. Eric Bailey on the mic. That's a big one. And then my second one's going to be Dom Shadle from McDonald. I think he had over 150 yards rushing in the first half against Sebring, and had 3 touchdowns rushing, I believe, and 1 passing. So just Dom Shadle is going to be someone to watch for sure moving forward.
Muncie, who you got?
Well, I'm not gonna fall into everybody else's picks that they had. I'm gonna be the true company man. I'm saying the best performance is YSN, baby. We had the best performance.
I can appreciate that.
Over 80,000 views in 3 days.
Well, there's a little surprise for you, Paulie.
Maybe we had more. Okay.
We did. We had about 22,000 more than you originated. So we had over 100,000 people tune into YSN on between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
That made us the best performer of the weekend, right there.
We appreciate that. We appreciate all you guys. I mean, you all put in something this weekend, and it made it to be everything. So hats off to you, Paul. That was a nice little plug. I appreciate that. Oh, the train's here. Billy, what do you got?
I'm double down with Ty here. The quarterback from Fitch it was super impressive, and like I said a little bit ago, I think it's if we did like a Heisman around here, YSN, it's his. He's way out front right now in my mind.
There is so many people that had so much to say. Balone from Louisville had an unbelievable game, coming up short though against Jackson Milton. But if I'm looking for guys that are impact players that I think will continue to play this year and play at a high level, I'm looking no further than South Range, and I'm going to say Patron and Dominguez. That combination is unstoppable. If they're on the same page, it is going to be tough to stop the Raiders this year. And we talked about how difficult they were going to be to beat in the playoffs. They're going to be difficult to even match up in the regular season because it's not like they're doing anything that was out of the ordinary when it comes to X's and O's. They just did it at a high level and executed at a high level and beat one of the biggest opponents that are on their schedule this year. So keep an eye on the Raiders, and especially Dominguez and Patron, because those are 2 guys you're going to hear a lot of here on your sports network. And don't forget that every week, starting tonight, you will have the Baird Brothers Big Dogs of the Valley. You will be able to vote for, this year it's 5 girls and 5 boys, to be able to be called the Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Valley for that particular week. And of course, at the end of the season, we will have all the winners square up, and you will once again be able to rock the vote for the Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Year. in football, or I guess for the fall sports. So make sure, and again, soccer, cheerleading, volleyball, football, we're including it all this year. So if there's standouts for you, you have to be partnered with YSN, and we will hope to get them on. We'll stack up how they match up during the week, and we will have them nominated for the Baird Brothers Big Dogs of the Valley. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the Yankee update with Jeff Bezos, and we will have another substitution in for that. We'll tell you what's on YSN tonight, and we will talk about the Audible call and more about the week that was here at the network. All that and more, and don't forget about your G. Burbick Farms What's Your Beef right here on the Power Hour.
21
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Let's get right to our top
More
story
experienced
tonight.
reporters
A new Wilmington
At
restaurant.
GM Lordstown,
telling more local stories
We'll look at
baby
efforts
boy
to
is
curb
recovering from a broken.
around our
Good
valley.
Community in
afternoon.
Niles,
We are
one
here in
Triangle Valley
Youngstown, right
business.
Because you expect
important for everyone. No place like home.
more local news.
In Mercer County
Before
Court.
they become life-threatening.
21 News is our valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
Hey, my Ohio friends, it's Mike Ditka, and I know great talent and heart when I see it. I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are average real estate agents, then there are true champions. Kelly Warren is one of those champions, and you have her right there in your own backyard. Kelly outmarkets and outsells every agent in the Mahoning Valley. If Kelly can't sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, Kelly will buy it. Get your home sold. Call Kelly Warren today at 717-2689 or go online to kellysoda.com and start packing.
And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley trying to navigate ESPN's website right now and get to the MLB standing.
I'll do it.
Guys,
I looked it up.
All right, go ahead.
I'll take
Go
the
ahead.
Yankee update for Jeff Bezos. So the Yankees are 3.5 games back of Tampa Bay in the AL East. They took 3 of 5 from the Mets. So they had a couple big games yesterday. They won on a grand slam home run, and they open up a big 3-game series tonight against the Tampa Bay Rays again. So they have a chance to catch back up, and if they can sweep, then we'll be down by half a game. So we'll see what they can do. I think they're going to lose 2 or 3, if you ask me. So
I'm going to say 3 up, 3 down for the Yankees. They're going to get swept
Again.
again by the Rays, and there is nobody more excited than Rob Switka down in Carolina. He'll be joining us later this week, so there might be some fireworks on Friday, boys, before the game, before the games kick off, because I think Bezos and Switka will be in the same studio. So maybe we'll sit them next to each other in the back, and we can have a real Yankee update with Jeff Bezos. I mean, do the Yankees need to make a trade right now to get back into this thing?
no. They just need their guys to be healthy. As Jeff's going to say, guys are hurt. Guys are hurt. It's okay. They're going to come back.
Just business,
Problem,
baby. Just business, baby.
Just
3.5
baby.
games back, baby.
They have nothing in the tank to trade. They don't have any great prospects to give away.
The Pittsburgh Blue Jays are just a game behind them. So think about that.
And they just made
They're the Buffalo Blue Jays.
They'll forever be in my heart as the Pittsburgh Blue Jays.
They didn't even play a game there.
Doesn't matter.
They just tease.
Neither did the Pirates.
At least a meaningful game.
Who's your team to watch? I mean, at this point, who's the team? I mean, the Rays are fun to watch, but I gotta say, it turns my stomach to even say it. Yeah, go ahead.
The Padres are the team. I've been trying to tell you guys all year from day one.
Not day one. Do not even say day one. You've been on this
start of the season.
You have been on this.
That.
Yeah, you did say the Rays.
Tell you that all these stars were going to align.
Billy Bandwagon up there has been on the Padres for about 2 weeks.
That's what
I'd say a team to watch would be the Chicago White Sox. They got a ton of offense, have built up their farm system for years. I mean, the power that these guys have, Luis Robert, Moncada, Abreu, I mean, you name it. They've been launching balls out of the park left and right. They got pretty decent starting pitching. I thought they were going to go and get a starting pitcher on the trade deadline. I think we got about 24 minutes left until that's over. But the Chicago White Sox are a good team to watch this year.
Yeah, we're going to keep our eye on the trade deadline. We might go over by a couple minutes to see if we can get any breaking news with that. But
Hotlanta. I think Hotlanta. I know that's my team, but I mean, the only thing that concerns me a little bit is they need their starting pitcher to go a little more than 3.5, 4 innings. I mean, they were up 10-0 last night in the second inning, and then they ended up
Atlanta's pitching stinks. That's the only thing that's going to hold them back.
Listen, Washington's got to be the team that surprised everybody, right? They're at the bottom of the NL East. They're sitting back 6 games.
Yeah, they got lucky to get into the playoffs last year and got hot. I mean, they earned it, but they
like, come on, man.
No, I'm going to agree with them.
Against anybody, they limped into the playoffs, got hot, and won.
But that's all that matters.
Well, that's great, but it doesn't transfer over to this year.
No, but in reality is this isn't the OHSA playoffs. Not everybody's getting in this year.
That they would be a good team. I don't even think they would be 500 this year.
Do you think people in Washington are taking note that they went from first to worst right now?
I mean, they do.
No, they got rings on their fingers. They're happy.
They're going to celebrate last year for 5 years.
Sounds like Cleveland.
We would do the same. Absolutely.
Every day I feel like on ESPN it's the Cavs championship game, Game 7. So
you should watch it again tonight.
Did you?
You should watch it again tonight.
No, I'll pass. I know what happens.
Finals game in a while.
Let's see here. I mean, the Cubs don't really surprise anybody. The Dodgers, everybody picked. The Padres might be the team that is catching. Wait a minute here. Whoa.
Oakland.
Who freaking told the Oakland Athletics we were playing baseball this year? Look at this.
Oakland
on top of the AL West.
Yeah, Billy Beam is doing Moneyball stuff again this year. This is like right in his wheelhouse.
And how about my Pirates?
Well, they had like
double
3
digits
or 4
wins.
games that they had a grand slam in.
That was the Padres.
No, not only the Padres. The A's had it too. The A's did it first.
Here's my worry now, guys. At 10-21, the Pirates might win more than 13 games.
They should.
Do you think they win? Do you think they win a third of their games? Do you think they win 20 games this year?
No.
They should trade Josh Bell while he's still a decent player before they ruin his career.
What do they care? What do they care? They do steal bread.
2 years from now, when his contract's getting ready to be up, it'll be worth nothing.
Oh, that sounds like a Michael.
I didn't care Cole for nobody either. Hold up. Never mind.
When the hell do we get anybody for one of our star players?
You're right. Never mind.
0.
I will say I really do enjoy the Mike Clevenger trade that the Indians made. I think they really set themselves up for future. And I mean they've been a consistently winning team the last 7-8 years, and I think they just set themselves for more longevity. They got a pretty big haul. I mean, I think Richie and other baseball advocates would agree. The 6 players that they got were no pushovers for Clevenger.
I think what it does is it really confirms that they're not going to sign Lindor. I think we all knew that.
Oh, absolutely. They're not a team that has the money to do it.
Yeah, but they got a guy they think they can replace Lindor with down the road. I mean, not that you can replace Lindor.
Yeah, you can. He hits 260.
He does more than just hit the baseball.
But that's the nature of small market teams. You build these guys up, trade them 2 years before their contract to get more in, and then just train them to replace those guys. That's how small market baseball teams work.
Oh, right.
So I mean, I love this.
Is that how they work? Because I'm under the impression that they win 13 games a season and trade away their best players.
Pirates are an outlier.
Small market teams, and then there's no budget teams. You're under the no budget.
We're gonna trade Josh Bell away for keys to Section 8 housing and a dumpster fire kind of player. I mean, it's garbage. And
The Pirates are the major league, minor league system of the MLB.
The Pirates are the. What do you even equivalent the Pirates to? That I mean, they're just
bad
like
Bears.
Yeah, like you're just not sure. And I hate to even
ownership doesn't want to spend money.
No, it's more than that.
The Pirates can't win trades either. That's their problem. They lose so many trades, it's not even funny.
I think they won the Andrew McCutchen trade, to be honest with you, because when that happened, I think everybody was like, "Oh, it's Andrew McCutchen." Listen, he wasn't as good as he was. He wasn't 2013 Andrew McCutchen anymore. But this Ben Cherington's supposed to be the guy that created the dynasty with the Red Sox. He's the guy that brought in a ring for the Red Sox. He does it through the draft, and I get that, and I can appreciate that because we had one hell of a draft. However, if they trade Josh Bell now, we're not going to have anybody left when these guys get there. So I'm tired of talking about windows. Like in Pittsburgh, if you listen to Pittsburgh radio or watch Pittsburgh, they always talk about these windows. They stink. They stink. The window for winning is so small that even at the trade deadline, we're picking off the scrap heap. And then the one time we do make what we think to be a blockbuster trade with Archer last year, that dude is poop. He stinks.
Well, that's why they keep talking about windows.
AJ Burnett
Meadows too.
They thought they were getting a really good AJ Burnett, and they did not.
We got AJ Burnett. AJ Burnett was good for us.
He was not AJ Burnett good. He was average AJ Burnett.
Well,
AJ Burnett was a 19 to 20 game winner, and then he comes to the Pirates and can't win.
Listen, we paid like $38 for AJ Burnett, so I'm not going to complain about him.
Right. I'm not saying that it wasn't a good deal. I'm just saying you didn't get the player that he was other places.
See, James Bartell saying the Indians will get a boatload for Lindor. I think they're going to get a player to be named later and a bucket of baseballs.
No, they won't.
Because he stinks this year.
Because he's limited to 3 teams, basically. So you got to deal with those 3 teams if you want anything from him.
Viewers are dropping because you're talking about irrelevant things, the Pirates. Well, if you come back on, EB, then you can talk about whatever you want. But until then...
Irrelevant NBA basketball, that's what he'd want to talk about.
Irrelevant, Paul. Irrelevant.
Nice job, Betos.
Irrelevant.
Can't even insult the league right without speaking wrong. God.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
Coming from the guy who said 5 words all day. But put him in front
I
of a
don't talk
microphone.
about baseball. I don't care
Put
about
him in
baseball.
front of a microphone, and the guy can't shut up.
MVP.
And he did a great job.
MVP.
I had to interview 2 people because Bailey's staring out into space.
Stiff arm!
Yeah.
Stiff arm! He hit the stiff arm! Juke!
X button, go!
Speaking of, guys, probably and I don't mean to put anybody or anything down that we've done at YSN yet, but I have to say, Audible Call might be the coolest thing we have ever done. It was unbelievable. Mike Ackelson was fantastic. Nick Zeronis, the producer, the director, whatever you want to call him, was killing it. You had we're going to call him the Mike-ettes back behind chiming in. And we had highlight after highlight after highlight. It was all happening live. There's no instant replay. We just go right to the heart of things. Announcers were getting exposed to markets that they never have been on before. To me, this was awesome. The fans have spoken. It is loud and proud that Audible Call is where it's at. Anybody with some hot takes on Audible Call? Billy, you were there on Saturday.
Yeah, the first thing I want to say, it was so much fun. Everybody truly wanted to do the best that they very could, and it was such a free-flowing thing. It was, I had 2 computers set up, everybody had computers and iPads set up, and we were all watching games, and hey, we're on the 20-yard line, hey, we're on this, hey, we're on this, hey, make sure we get this team in, hey, let's do this. And it was just ideas were flowing, and we were just passing it forward, just keep it moving as we could, and I'll tell you what, we were a good 75% on touchdowns. We didn't miss too many. We really didn't.
The only touchdowns really you ever should miss are long touchdowns, right? Because
And that was it. And that was the big plays at the 50-yard line, the 60. We missed a kickoff return, so we threw a joke in and said, "Hey, now we're going to watch kickoff returns and punts for a minute here. Let's just see if something happened." It was just, and then there was, close games. We wanted to keep an eye on close games, so we kind of seen some turnovers and something. It was just, it was a great week one. And I had no idea what we were expecting because I came late to the game, so it was, hey, let's here you go, do this, and we meshed really well. It was fun.
Muncie, you got a chance to take it all in on Saturday night. What did you think of the audible call?
It was great, and like I said, it's only going to get better because we were talking late into the night, as many of us can attest to.
How late were we?
Yeah, it was.
How late was that again?
It was late. It was really late, but we were talking about different things that are going to make it even better. So I mean, it's going to get better, week after week, and especially this week with all the games, with the exception of 2, are going to be on Friday night. So this Friday night is going to be just incredible. That there's going to be so many games on. I think 24 for right now. They're going to be on our network on Friday. It's just going to be a blast, and we've worked some kinks out a little bit. I think with having microphones in front of the micettes and just be like, hey, what do you got going on there, and just pounding it down. It's going to be great.
I'm excited about it. Here's a take from James again. Audible call is cool. I think you should interview your broadcaster at halftime and post game. The only problem with that is there is a little bit of a delay between audible call and between the actual live broadcaster. So you're going to see it first with the $9.99 purchase, whatever game you're at, and then you're going to see it right after on the audible call. That's just how the delay works with it.
I think it'd be easier to do the post game than it would be to do halftime. There's 27 games, 25 games. Not every game's at halftime too, so it's hard to put it in that 2 minutes of time too.
Audible call only good if you buy a game for $9.99 or on YSN Live. No, you can watch the audible call for free. You don't have to buy a game. Obviously,
right on our site.
Yeah, if there's one game that you want to watch, you are more than welcome to open that up in one tab, and then on even another device. I would say we had guys watching their games, separately than the audible call, because then they might decide, hey, there's a really good game going over here. It might be worth my $10 to buy this game in its entirety. So, and again, if you buy a game for $9.99, you also get the video on demand later, so you can go back and watch it. So if there's a game in the fourth quarter that's really high scoring, you think it might be really exciting, it might be worth that $10 to go buy it for the end of the game, for the finish, and then you can watch the whole rest of it on your own at your own leisure. So very, very cool. I mean, Quinn, you were part of the madness on both nights. I mean, what was your favorite part of it, other than being part of it and having people exposed to the stiff arm? What was your favorite call?
Which we did catch
part of
on
the audible call.
I mean, it was from hearing everybody's what everybody was doing and stuff with it. It just sounds like an overall a really good experience for everybody. I mean, just having Mike is huge, and good luck, Paul.
Paul, would you like to address this?
I got home late that night, and we were all having such a good time. My phone was on a different part of the room, and I didn't answer a phone.
Carrie, I'll take the heat for this one. It was on me. We were talking about football and moving forward. He was safe. He didn't hear the phone calls, and obviously no one did because, we were all laughing and chucking it up here at HQ. So he was working.
Betos was in his wound up. He was just going to
He
town.
couldn't breathe. He couldn't breathe. We thought we were losing. We had 9 and 1 pushed on the cell phone. We were ready to hit that extra 1.
I was seriously asking what hospital is closest to
You did.
East Palestine. I was like, is it Salem? We're like, no, it's Chippewa. I'm like, he's dying. He ain't going to make it there.
James saying we need game stats for broadcasters. Yes, we're working on that. Unfortunately, it's a little bit tough whenever you've got 2 broadcasters that are watching the game and trying to entertain and inform the entire time. We have 2 guys typically that are at that broadcast, and naturally, when you talk about college or NFL or even some of the broadcast here, you have essentially an entire team of people that are doing this. So
truck full of people doing stuff.
So we're doing the best with what we can, and we're always trying to do better. I'm not going to say that it's not going to be possible. I'm just saying asking
Give
for
us
you.
some time.
Just be patient. Yeah, just give us some time and we'll get there. So, what else we got here? That would be sweet with some monitors behind Ack. Oh, don't steal my thunder, Lair. Don't steal my thunder. You're in these meetings now. Don't be prefacing this stuff. We will have some monitors behind Ackelson this week, where I'm going to go pick up 2 monitors after the Audible call, and we'll be installing them on each side. That was the plan the entire time. It's just thanks to Governor DeWine, we didn't know if we'd have this or not. And now that we do, we're kind of building the plane in the middle of the air. So stay with us. You'll have monitors with live games going here this week on the Audible call. What else do we have? More from Gary Munson. No one can hear cell phone.
There's bad service in the house with all the Wi-Fi going to the laptops and the monitors. There's a bad service going on in there.
Yeah,
there
is. And it's East Palestine. We're down in the valley there.
All right. That's enough. Uber Debbie and Janitor Jeff got the best of Paul that night.
Oh, man. He got the best of a lot of us that night.
He did. But the overall consensus, and thanks, I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Luke and Isaac Schuster over at NMB, Nationwide Mortgage Brokers, for all they did and all they're doing for us. They are the title sponsor of the Audible call. When I said that this is the way to go, Paul's dead. He's dead. Oh, there he is. All right. Whew. I've seen movies where it blacks out and then it comes back and you're gone. So that would have been terrifying. Carrie's had enough.
Yeah. Brian was calling me.
So guys, at the end of this Audible call is it. Thank you so much to our sponsors that do for doing 21 WFMJ. Always hooks us up. They take care of us. Dana and the team over there, as well as Jack Gerdick. Thank you for the support for letting us kind of move forward and take risks and look for big rewards. So, and thanks to our fans for all the feedback. Honest to God, I don't care if you say that our baby's ugly. We're going to work on it and continue to make it better and better as we go for you. But Ty, I mean, did you have a chance to tune into the Audible call at all?
Yeah, I did, and I thought it was a really cool concept too. And I mean, like you said, it's a work in progress. But I think for the first couple showings, both Friday and Saturday night, I thought it was super cool because I mean, it's one of those things. Like I said, it gives you a taste of kind of how we roll here on YSN. So if you don't want to make the leap to get one of the games this week, I mean, you can get kind of a taste, see how the games are, get a chance to hear a couple of our broadcasters, and then maybe make that leap into getting the games in future upcoming weeks.
Richie, I know you were pillar to post on Saturday night after your game in the afternoon. What was your thoughts?
Well, I did get to watch the Audible call actually on Friday night after the Cardinal game. So I loved it as a broadcaster. I only get to see 2 teams play during that night. And, if your game ends early enough, you could go home and watch the fourth quarter of some games. So it was interesting to see how the setup was. I loved it. I loved how they were immediately switching to plays inside the red zone, and there was always action going on. And like Max said up there, they were like 80%, I think they were on touchdown. So it was pretty nice, and I love the setup that you guys had down there at the studio.
T, bring us home on the Audible call.
Oh, I thought it was pretty awesome. For me, I was in Indiana and I was playing softball, so I couldn't really sit down and watch one game. So having that technology, whatever you want to call it, to just catch up on some balls was awesome.
Awesome. Thank you guys again so much for the support, whether you're a fan, whether you're a sponsor, or whether you're a family member or a player and you're watching the Audible call. We appreciate it. We can't go without saying Mike Ackelson and Nick Zeronis, what a job they did of pulling that off, especially on Friday with little to no training from us as we were trying to get stuff ready. So hats off to those guys. I know Ackelson's ready to get going again for week 2. But guys, that leads us to about 6 minutes left. That leads us to our G Burbick Farms. What's your beef? Tristan, start us out.
My beef is that I have to go to Planet Fitness. That's my beef. That's my beef.
Are you going to set off the lunk alarm?
I'll try. Who's on purpose? I'll record it, send it in. But
right.
I'm forced to go to Planet Fitness because that's the only thing open right now. And here I am.
Yeah, there's a little bit of frustration here in East Palestine. I can tell you that the gym still sits empty and for a couple of different reasons. Richie Giuliano, give us your G. Burbick Farms beef.
I'd say in my triumphant return here on the Power Hour, Richie Raynaud is back with a cancellation on Friday night between LeBray and Campbell, so we had to play Saturday afternoon. It was all right. I mean, it was still a good time on Saturday at 2, I think it was, yeah. But, I mean, you get down to Campbell, they played 3 minutes, and then they had to call it. So, that was a tough way to go out, but they finished the game, which was nice.
Richie Raynaud. Although you had a great debut for Canfield as the Canfield hero, you and G. Niddle were yucking it up, and you guys did a great job. And I know we're happy to have Canfield, and I feel like Canfield's happy to have us.
Oh, yeah, they were. I mean, the feedback that we got after that game was incredible. A lot of people enjoyed it, and, they were happy to have Canfield here on YSN.
And Canfield will be on tonight, volleyball style. The Cardinals, Anthony Hartwig will be out there calling the 1s and 2s. And you can watch some Cardinal volleyball, and that's a very good volleyball team, ladies and gents. So make sure you catch that one free of charge right here on the network. Ty Bartell, your beef, please.
I actually have 2 of them. One of them has just happened today, but the one I had coming in was the rain out at pitch. But I'm kind of glad it worked out because we had a beautiful Saturday night for that to work out, and it ended up being a great game for the Falcons. The other beef is with Jeff trying to talking about Aaron Miller over there and saying like where we got that player from. I don't know. I don't know who Aaron Miller is, but I know Andrew Miller only played with the Yankees for a year and a half of his career, and he was with Detroit, Florida, and Boston before that, so he wasn't homegrown. I don't know what you're talking about there, Jeff.
Oh, my gosh. Go ahead.
I got 2 beefs. One's with trains. Seems like they're all over the place. I don't like them. Second one is with Steve. Steve Leslie is giving you crap for organizing the fridge, and I'm kind of OCD when it comes to that stuff. So, Steve, too bad. It's going to be that way.
Wow. All right. Let's let the beast loose. Paul Munson.
I guess my beefs with myself for my late night Saturday night. That was.
Is this a public apology?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, I'll put it out there. I apologize for not answering my phone as fast as I should have, and for being late. So
I feel like there should be some piano music behind this.
But I guess the other beef is but with Billy Mack and myself, we should have been able to hold up our little cue cards for the boss over there for his little verbal slip up we caught on Saturday. So
yeah.
That was our beef.
On second thought, Carrie, you can have them. Go ahead, Max Baseball Academy.
So just it's really hard to have a beef when you had such a great weekend. I'm gonna have such a great night tonight. This is a big night for me, but I will say, and it's a low key beef. Snakes in the grass. If you know, you know.
I don't know, so we will talk after this. My beef is pure and simple. It is if you have a beef with us, I've got no problem addressing it immediately. And if you're gonna throw stones, you better make sure that we can't throw back. Because all I'm saying is, if you want to go to war with us, you better buckle up your chin strap, pal, because we're coming. YSN Nation is here, so you better double buckle because we're coming. You bring that stuff to our door, you better make sure that you know what you're talking about. That is my beef, and it's brought to you by G. Burbick Farms, where you can just go to gburbickfarms.com, and it's going to be from their farm to your freezer. Guys, any last comments before we head out for the day?
Big week coming. Better be on board. Yeah.
Oh, man. Audible call, loved it. I got to watch Salem from my iPad, watch highlights on Audible call on my phone. Thank you, Shauna. We appreciate you so much. I got it. This is the comment of the day. New phone. Who dis? Love it. Carrie Munson, you're our MVP. Thanks for letting us borrow Paul. Hopefully you let us do it again this Friday. That's going to do it for the YSN Power Hour. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Catch us tomorrow 3 to 4 right here on YSN. So long, everybody.